Morning all, how are we? Welcome TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Hope we're all good. It is Thursday, the 23rd. Thursday, the 23rd of, what is it? Thursday, the 23rd of October. Thursday, the 23rd of October. We're getting there, aren't we? Week today. Oh no, week tomorrow. Week tomorrow's Halloween. Week tomorrow is Halloween, which is the last day of October. Then we're into yeah, we're getting there. When does winter count? Like, when do we say we're in winter? I always think autumn's like a short. I know it's 3 months, isn't it? Like, I think technically autumn would be mid-September to mid-December, and then winter's like mid-December till mid-March. But I just think once you get to November, you get into autumn, don't you? It's cold this morning. Has anyone else felt the pinch this morning? It's a bit niche. It's a little bit niche this morning. I've only actually got a thin top on. I got up and I put t-shirt on, top, and then I put the old gilet on as well. And I've got my heater on in the gym. So I was rather toasty warm. So the gilet has come off actually. Treat myself to the heater this morning. I have no idea if it costs a lot of money to run this heater. I don't actually know. It doesn't seem to affect our electric bill that much. It's really. My office is so well insulated; it heats up really, really quickly. To be fair, so then it's just, it's all good. So now I've instructed you on the ins and outs of heating my office. How are we all? Are we all having a good week? We're at the business end now. We broke the back of it. We're 3 days in. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. How's your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday been? Have you ticked the boxes? Oh, I can't stress enough how much we need to tick those weight loss boxes. The first part of the week to have a good weight loss week. It is so important. I've done good. I don't think I've done bad. The hunger's not been there this week as it was last week, but it's still knocking about. It's not been the easiest, I'm not going to lie, but alongside that, I've not been fueling my body 100%. So, in terms of managing my hunger, so like yesterday, I went to McDonald's and I smashed in nearly 900 calories, but it was like 40 grams of protein. Don't get me wrong, 40 grams of protein is decent, but the volume wasn't there. You know, not like when you go and eat loads of it. Now, don't get me wrong, when I got home after having that McDonald's, I did get myself a decent yogurt, like whey whip bowl in, which definitely helped. But then the last 2 nights, I did like a BLTO on Tuesday night, bacon, lettuce, tomato, onion, toasted bread with some hash brown bites, because we always have a quick tea on a Tuesday night because we're both late home. And I did the same last night. My mum come round for tea and Rachel was like, just do the same again. It was class. And I was like, yeah, it was. So I've done the same again. And my mum liked it. And then Rachel was like, and then we're both late home today because I've got a physio appointment at 6. And Rachel's Rachel's not going to the gym. She's got some sort of eyebrow thing. I don't know. So it's both of me 7. So she said she was doing the same again. Now, I like this from Rach because I am a repetitive eater. And it just makes it so easy. And if it's something I enjoy eating, I'm well happy to eat it 3-4 days in a row. It don't bother me whatsoever. So we're having the same again today. But the issue with that is the volume's not the best. It's not bad on calories. It's only 625 calories. The volume, but the last 2 days, I've not had the calories to bump the calories up. That's something I'm going to make sure I do today. So I'm going to have BLTO, bacon, lettuce, onion, tomato, toasty, some little hash browns, and I'm going to stick 2 boiled eggs with them as well. And that'll just add another 12 grams of protein and a bit more volume. And then I'm going to fuel my body a little bit better through the day. So I'm not eating breakfast this morning. I'm going to finish this live at 9:30, straight to the gym. I've got to use my mum's car today, and she needs it at about 11:30. So I've got a couple of hours to get back. So straight to the gym. Be flipping calculate this badger. It's stuck with me through thick and thin as this little beauty. But it's broke. It ain't working. It ain't working. It don't like me anymore. It has given up the ghost, unfortunately. So for checking tomorrow, I need to go somewhere to find a new calculator. We've got like a pound stretcher and like a very one of the original B&Ms. One of the original B&Ms. He's in where I go to the gym, Kirkham. So B&M originated in Cleveland's, and we have what's called Mayman's in Kirkham, and B&M stands for like Barry and Mayman, or so. I have no idea. I can't remember. I don't know what the B stands for, but the M stands for Mayman. So we still got an original little bit. So anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I need to go and hunt down a calculator. Need to nip to Aldi because I wasn't going to do a recipe this week. I've been a little bit slow on the content actually with YouTube. I did loads last week. I've took my foot off the gas this week, right? But I'm going to do the McSpicy pineapple. There's pineapple McSpicy. I'm going to do a dupe of it today, right? I was like, that is so easy to do as a dupe. And I was like, I can make it taste better. It was good. It was good. I'm not going to say it wasn't good. It was good. I put a little review on. There'll be a full review on Worth the Calories tomorrow, along with a review of the nuggets. But I put a little review of the McSpicy on, the pineapple McSpicy. I'm going to replicate it today, right? And it's going to be less calories, more protein, right? And it'll taste better. So, and I'll get that up today. I'm gonna make it for my lunch. I'm going to make it for my lunch, or as part of my lunch. It's only going to be about 450 calories, so I will be eating some. I'll probably have a big yogurt bowl after it as well. So I'm going to make it for my lunch, and then that'll be on today, and then tomorrow will be worth the calories. So I've got 3 bits of content out for you this week. Anyway, right. Let me what we're doing now. Let me scan down and see what's going. Oh, let's do top 5. Of course, Callum is in at number 1. Good morning. Lou's in at number 2. Jem's in at number 3. Jan B is in at number 4. And Kelly C is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. You are my top 5 this morning. Thank you very much for jumping on the live, coming and saying hello. Steph GC's in. Clary Ferry, morning. Faye, Anna, Sheila, Lynn's in. Good morning. Still rainy here in Dog City in London. We're all right here. It was all right. It was nice yesterday. We had a couple of showers, but nothing major. And it looks all right today. En route to Manchester for the day for my birthday. Amazing, Faye. We need food pictures. Let us know what's going on there. Happy birthday. Is it your birthday today? Anyway, happy birthday. You can be the queen. You can have 2 birthdays if it's not your birthday today. Paul's in. Good morning. How did power cut this morning? Oh, the joys of this delightful weather. Yeah, everyone seems to be getting... Oh, it's storm something, isn't it? Like, we're just not getting it up here. I think we're meant to get the tail end of it. Let me put in Preston weather, which is kind of our weather. Yeah, it did say that we were going to get like 40, 50 mile an hour winds for a couple of hours today. No, nothing. So it is literally cold, but sunshine and cloud until 6 o'clock, and then really no rain until tonight. I'll take it. And then tomorrow's kind of sunshine and showers in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, maybe a bit drizzly in the evening. We've proper got away with it up here. Saturday looks ace. Like, I don't care about the temperature. It actually says it's going to feel like 45 degrees through the day on Saturday. So cold, get your thermals out. But weather looks decent, actually. Just sunshine and showers. I can handle that. We're lucky up north. We've got away with it. But yeah, there's a storm coming in, isn't there? Still lying in bed, so I'm fine temp-wise, nice and cozy. I was cold last night. We just have like a 4-tog duvet, right? That's quite a light duvet, isn't it? But in winter, we have like, is it brushed? I can't remember what it's called. Rachel knows the official term, but she sorts it out. But it's like a really thick, warm duvet cover. So, like, we have a lighter duvet cover in summer, and that's it. And that's all we have on is a duvet. And then we've got like a massive teddy bear blanket from Dunelm that if we're a bit chilly, we put it on. Anyway, I was really cold last night, so the teddy bear blanket came out. So it was cool last night. I'm still trying not to batter the heating. Maureen, good morning, all. Good morning. McDonald's breakfast this morning en route to speech and language therapy. Awesome. For the Mackey's breakfast and the speech and language therapy, which is definitely something, you know, from me doing my lives, I could definitely do with it at times. Watching Mackey's breakfast go to. I've got to be careful with Mackey's breakfast. I get a little bit carried away. I can go like double sausage and egg McMuffin, bacon, cheese, flatbread. And I don't even like them that much. It's just, I just always feel like I need a little bit extra. But double sausage and egg McMuffin, hash brown, milk. That's my order. That is my order. Nature's protein shake, bottle of milk. That is my main order. And then sometimes, do you know what I've added on recently? If I want to add something on, because they're absolutely banging, they don't get the recognition they deserve. Just an egg and cheese McMuffin, unreal. 297 calories, amazing. Anyway, there you go. That's my McDonald's breakfast order. I've ticked every box of my weight loss break. Faye's enjoying a weight loss break, and well deserved, Faye. If anyone deserves a weight loss break, it's definitely you. Why do people lose so much weight on OMAD? Because they're eating one meal a day. Massive calorie deficit. So OMAD is a type of intermittent fasting where you literally eat one meal a day, right? And there's only so much food you can take in. So generally those meals are a bit bigger than we'd normally have. But, you know, I burn 3,500 calories. If I had one meal a day, I'd probably take in 1,500 calories, right? That's 2,000 calorie a day deficit. Times that by 7, that's 14,000 calories deficit a week. That's 4 of these a week, 16 a month. And you might be sat there going, that sounds amazing. No, starving yourself is not amazing. It really, really isn't. Go and have a little chat with someone that lives in a country that suffers with famine, right? They'll tell you, no, it's not good not being able to eat, right? It really, really isn't. Yeah. My steps have definitely been a lot lower this week. Weather not helping though. Yeah, the weather is, it is, you know, I always say this, and I always do it a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I always put a video on once a year saying this is one of the best things you can do for your steps when the weather's rubbish. Put a coat on. And I'll do it again because I ordered a new coat last night. I've not got a waterproof coat. Well, I have. I've got my North Face Gotham jacket, which I've my old one. I've put it on Vinted yesterday. If any of you is watching this now, make me a cheeky offer. I've put it on at not the cheapest of prices, right? Because you always get stupid offers on Vinted. You really, really do. It drives me mad. The standard offer on Vinted, whatever it's on for, I'll halve it and add a little bit more. Why? What is wrong with people? Like, oh, someone's put this on at 40 quid. I'll offer them 23. Oh, yeah, cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I always put stuff on Vinted a little bit more expensive than it should be. That I'm happy to accept because, you know, everyone likes to feel like they've got a deal and a bit of a bargain. But anyway, my old North Face Gotham jacket, it is still in absolutely top condition. I've put it on as is. It's been in storage for 2 years in my garage, right? It needs a dry clean. I don't know how much it costs to dry clean the coat. Maybe 15 quid, right? Something like that. But it's a 300 odd quid jacket, right? And it is still in amazing nick. There's a little bit of oxidation on some of the buttons. Again, because it's been in storage. That is just on the inside of the buttons, so you won't see it when you're wearing it at all. And it just needs a good dry clean, right? Or you can wash it yourself. You can, if you want to wash it yourself, I have no idea because it's got down inside it and it's 550. That you can literally walk to the Antarctica and it is such a warm coat. It's amazing. Anyway, that's on Vinted if you want it. That is a waterproof coat, and I've got another one. Right, I've got 2. So, but it's too hot to wear this time of year. So I bought myself a waterproof coat off Very. yesterday. It's got 25% off loads of things, and I bought myself the I love North Face stuff. Honestly, the quality for what you pay. I was looking last night at getting. I was googling last night. This is where my head goes. I'm like, right, I want a waterproof coat. Right, it's coming up winter now. I've not got a proper, like, more lightweight waterproof coat, as it were. Right. I was doing a Google, and I nearly ordered the Arc'teryx Beta jacket because I've been looking at them for ages, but they're 350 quid. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money for a coat. Right. And then a Helly Hansen one came up, and I nearly ordered that. Was 325 quid. And I was like, just get a North Face one, Neil. You love them. Anyway, when I was the North Face Sandro is apparently a very good jacket. Is my recommendation from my research. 145 quid on Very, which is still expensive, but they've got 25% off at the moment. So it's 108 quid. So I've ordered my new coat. So I'm doing so. Yeah, weather does affect steps, and I do a tongue-in-cheek video every year. Best thing you can do, put a coat on. Right? Great invention. And I do mean that. But obviously, if it's storm flipping Dave or whatever, and it's absolutely blowing an absolute, an absolute Gale Platt left, right, and centre, right? Yeah, I understand how that can massively affect steps. I'm going to buy a walking pad. I've decided. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get the Aldi one when it comes out. And I'm not saying everyone needs to do that, but we need to understand with averages, if your steps have been great the last few weeks and you just have 1 week and it's a little bit lower, and it's because, like, the weather's like, if it's rainy, if it's drizzly and it's a full day of rain and drizzle, I'll just suck it up, go on, get out, let's go. Right. But if it is like I say, Storm Agatha or whatever they flipping call them, right? It's coming in, then I totally get it. I can handle wind. I can handle cold temperatures. Wind and rain and I can handle rain, to be honest with you. Like the worst thing about rain for me is the dogs end up in a mess, which really pees me off. We don't have like we have a utility room, but not tacked onto the house. And I'm so jealous of people. Like our friend, they've got a spaniel, and he's just absolutely bonkers. And he'll just run through puddles and whatever. And they literally, the utility room is his home. And they, at night time, he goes in there to sleep and stuff like that. And I'm so jealous of it. So we've got a utility room. I've got one here tacked onto my outside, but don't link to the house. And I wouldn't put the dogs in it anyway. So yeah, so it's just a pain in the arse with the dogs. But one weather that I really despise walking in that will affect is wind and rain. Horrible. The pea soup is on my shopping list today. The other one's very, very good. What's best, full fat or low fat? Zero fat. Zero fat yogurt. If you're on a weight loss journey, zero fat yogurt. You get more volume for your calories and more protein. Dead simple. I know you'll get all these numpties that'll come on social media. Full fat's the best. It's more filling. It isn't. Right? It isn't. You're going to get more calories, more saturated fat, right? More calories, more saturated fat, less protein, less filling. Does fat satiate us? There's so many people. The carnivore dieters, fat is filling, fat is filling. Right. Protein and fiber are the most satiating things we can eat. So they fill us up because they slow down gastric emptying, right? The body finds them hard to break down, certainly much harder than refined carbs and fats, right? And therefore, food sits longer in your stomach. That's the basics of it. Food sits longer in your stomach. And the longer food sits in your stomach, the more appetite regulation you're going to have, right? That's how simple it is. How fat helps to regulate appetite is it doesn't slow down gastric emptying, right? I can't remember the exact name of it, but we have a nerve in our, I'm not even sure if it's in the stomach or I think it's in the small intestine, right? And fat, that nerve can get activated to release our satisfying hormone, leptin. So we have two hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin tells us we're hungry. Leptin tells us we're full, basically. It's not quite as simple as that, but that's in a nutshell how they work, right? So, and we have this nerve in our stomach or small intestine that fat can activate to release to improve our leptin hormone to say we're fuller, right? But the fat that does that is healthier fats. So your monounsaturated, your polyunsaturated fats are proven to do it way more than saturated fats. So anyone's saying that eating protein and fat is filling, but the fat they're promoting is saturated fat, like from a steak or butter or cheese, is talking absolute gobbledygook. The fat you would need to eat, and it's not that effective. It helps, but it's not like, oh, I've eaten some olives, I'm full. And that's where we get monounsaturated fat. We get from things like olives, avocado, nuts. And I've said this before. Although the volume's not great and the calorific, I find nuts fairly filling, like peanuts. So I can have 50 grams of peanuts, 300 calories, no volume. It's 50 grams. For 300 calories, I can have 400 grams of yogurt, right? 400 grams sort of whey whip bowl, all right? So loads more volume. But I do find peanuts quite filling, and it's because it activates that nerve in my stomach that releases a bit of leptin. So good fats are worth having in your diet. But again, if someone was like, well, what's the best thing for filling us up? Protein. What's second? Fiber. What's third? Volume. Right? These are the things we should be concentrating on. But we should be getting some good fats into our diet anyway. So your monounsaturated fats, so your olives, avocado, oily fish, so your salmon, your mackerel, nuts, olive oils, avocado oils, things like that. And then your polyunsaturated are the dreaded seed oils. There is not one shred of evidence to say they're bad for us. Why have we got this narrative now that seed oils are bad for us, right? Carnivore dieters, right? To push the carnivore diet, you're telling people to eat a lot of saturated fat, which we've been led to believe is really unhealthy for us, because it is, if you overconsume it over time, right? But how do we convince people that saturated fat is healthy and healthier fats are unhealthy? Well, we'll just create this narrative demonizing healthier fats. And, seed oils are popular. They're cheap. Look at the cost of a bottle of olive oil compared to a bottle of rapeseed oil, right? Olive oil went to like 15 quid just for a bottle of it, right? And so they've just jumped on the bandwagon. It's all garbage, right? The proper scientific evidence, which is the only thing we should be looking at when we're looking at long-term health things, show that seed oils are good for us. Polyunsaturated fats, like fat is fat. It's 9 calories per gram, and overconsumption of any fat isn't the best because it's calorific, and you might end up in a calorie surplus. But anyone that if you've been led to believe that seed oils, do you know what? And I think it's the sound of it. It's like seedy. It sounds bad, doesn't it? It's vegetable oil. It's rapeseed oil. It's sunflower oil. It's just pressed oils. They're absolutely fine. People also go into the narrative that, it's the way they make it, because they use the same method to create seed oils as they do to make like engine oil. So then you see this narrative. They use the same process. So seed oil is that you're basically having engine oil. They use the same process to make bread as they do to make glass, right? They bake something at a temperature in an oven, right? They melt something, so everything that bakes. So saying like seed oils is like having engine oil is like saying glass. If you eat bread, you might as well be eating glass because they're both baked in an oven. It's just bonkers logic. It's just absolutely crazy. But yes, go for your low fat yogurt, your zero fat yogurt, right? And the disadvantage of zero fat yogurt over full fat yogurt is taste. It tastes more sour. It's not as creamy, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Anyone that goes, 10% Greek yogurt, it's just delicious to eat it as it is. It really isn't. well, I mean, if you like it like that. So 0% fat Greek yogurt, add a couple of little sugar-free flavor drops to it to enhance the flavor, maybe a little teaspoon of stevia in there to sweeten it up a little bit. But my favorite method is whey protein powder. Mix some whey protein powder into it, and you can make red velvet yogurt. You can make chocolate orange yogurt. You can make sweet and salty popcorn yogurt. You can make vanilla yogurt. You can make strawberry yogurt. Standard, you can just, blueberry muffin. If you use Perform, right, you can use all these weird and wonderful flavors, and some of them are amazing. My number one at the moment is sweet and salty popcorn. Oh, I'm just in love with it. I can't get enough of it. I've just ordered 2 kilos of the stuff. Honestly, when I first got it, I was a bit like, hit him. It's a triple threat. I've had it in porridge this week. I've had it loads in yogurt bowls. And it's decent as a shake. I would say as a shake, that's it's not something I'm like, oh, as a shake, it's unbelievable. Like the jammy biscuit flavor, which is unbelievable as a shake, right? It's decent as a shake. Yogurt bowl and I think because I make my yogurt bowl quite sweet, it's that sweet salty. Oh, it's just amazing. It's coming my favorite. Yeah. Keep seeing rapeseed oil is bad for us everywhere. I know, and it isn't. There's absolutely no evidence. Everyone that says rapeseed oil is bad for us, they will not pin one. They'll not cite one controlled randomized study to back it up. They might post a random internet article or magazine article or made up study, right? That's but they'll never post a PMID. So anyone that cites evidence, this is bad for us because of this, and then they post an article, that article should have a PMID, right? And the PMID number is PubMed, so it is a proper published, controlled study. Right, so it's been proper regulated. It's a proper regulated controlled study. Now, even proper regulated controlled study, you need to read them with context, right? Because when you delve in, there'll be lots of different, it could be, there's a controlled study that shows that aspartame is a class 2 carcinogen, right? Or is a potential class 2 carcinogen, which means it could increase the risk of cancer. But if you read that, but then when you delve into the study is done on rats. We're not rodents. And the volume that those rats are given is ridiculous, right? So even if we had the same biological makeup as rats, I've said this before, you'd have to drink something like 500 cans of Pepsi Max a day every day for years and years for it to take a toll, and it's just not going to happen for the volume that they give them, right? So you've also got to don't just go googling something, oh, it's got PMID, so it's like there's always context and nuance behind it. Yeah. Hi boss, what's best protein powder? Any I use can be too heavy on stomach. Look, sometimes we have to accept some people just can't break, like protein slows down gastric emptying. So you eat a lot of protein, food is going to lay heavy on you. Food is going to sit there, right? So sometimes there has to be a bit of balance, and it's all then down, and it can all be down to how much protein you load in at one time, right? So for me, different proteins, there's all different amino acid chains that create complete proteins, and different protein sources will digest better than others. Eggs, I can't eat more than 3 or 4 eggs at a time. I do at times, and I regret it instantly because it just bloats me and makes me feel like, and I get stomach cramps because my body just can't digest it, right? And don't get me wrong, so it's about finding that balance. Protein powder for me, I never really have an issue. Meat protein, I never really have an issue digesting it. Like, it slows down gastric emptying, of course, but if it sits in my stomach for a few hours, it doesn't cause me any issue. So it's a little bit of a suck it and see. Now, but with protein, you do get what you pay for, right? Generally, right? Are there some half decent, cheaper proteins out there? Yeah, but they are only half decent, right? Perform for me is the best on the market. And I get loads of people, where do I buy my protein from? I get it wholesale, right? So I'm very, I get it from my wholesaler. Just Google it. The supplement stores are supplement stores. Just Google it, find a supplement store. There's plenty out there. Go find Perform and shop about a little bit. Shop about a little bit. If I go on Google now, right, and I'll just put in PR4M. You can buy it from their website. There is a code VIP30, right? Which it's nothing to do with me. It's just I just know it's a code that's falling about that knocks 30% off on the Perform website. So I'm looking here now, and I've just put in Perform, and there's like Skinny Food Company, $44.99 for 2 kilos. T Nutrition, $46.99. For 2 kilos. The supplement company, $48.50 for 2 kilos. If I go on Perform website now and I go products, whey protein, don't worry about the isolate, just get the advanced protein. It's top quality. It really, really is. If I click on the cookie dough flavor and click on 2 kilograms, it's $59.99 on their website, right? 60 quid on their website. You'd always think buying straight from the manufacturer, buying straight from the supply, the person that makes it would be cheaper. It generally isn't, right? I'll tell you what I pay for it, right? And then I'll compare it with their discount. So let me just sign into my wholesaler. I'm getting a bit low on the old protein, certainly flavors that I like. So I've ordered extra with this month's Boschy protein box. I really want to try the apple strudel one. Right, let me have a look here. Let me go cookie dough. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think they'll all be the same, but I'll do like for like, just so you know. Right, so cookie dough, I pay $31.99 plus VAT. So I pay 32 plus £6.40. So I get it for £38.40 for 2 kilos. So let's see what it is with the discount. Let's add that to cart. Let's go to checkout. I'll just see if that code still works. I think it does. I think someone said they used it the other week. So VIP 30 on Perform. Apply. Didn't work. I do have a code. They must have took it off. Right, let's. I did have a code. Was it just Real Lost Boss? Was it Boss 20? Again, it's not going to make it any cheaper than another supplement supplier. Might just be Real Lost Boss. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get any money for this, by the way. I just love the protein powder. My code does work. Right, my code does work. Right, and what's that knocked off? 25%. So my code is Real Lost Boss. Like I say, I'm not affiliated with Perform. I don't get any percentage of that. I don't get paid for that. So I'll show you on TikTok now. So you get it for 45 quid. You get it for 45 quid. There's $3.99 postage, but there'll be postage with anywhere you buy it from because of how much it weighs. So, and I think actually with Perform, if you order so much, you probably will get free postage. So yeah, use my code, all in capitals, Real Lost Boss, and you'll get 2 kilos for, you don't have to buy 2 kilos. They do it in smaller quantities as well. You'll get 2 kilos for 45 quid, which is a good price, right? And $3.99 shipping. So I think that's a decent. I think that's a decent price. So yeah, use think it cuts out the and don't look at the post. You're going to pay postage anywhere. You're going to pay between $3.99 for postage from Perform's great. Normally you'll pay £6 because it's heavy. It's 2 kilos. You know, it's a heavy parcel. Anyway, so go on to Perform website and use the code Real Lost Boss. Like I say, I'm not affiliated. I don't get a percent. I don't get a kickback from that. And then you're only paying £7 more than me, right? And that's wholesale. And that's why it's not, you know. So anyone that buys it, that sells it on a supplement shop, they're buying it for the same £38. They sell it for 45, 46 quid. They're only making £7 a tub. You know, it's only like 50. It's small profit margins. You need to sell a lot of that. You need to sell a lot of that to make a wage. You do. Anyway, yeah, so try the Perform website. What's the difference with Isolate? So Isolate's just more refined. It's just gone through an extra like process. And with Isolate, it takes out every bit of fat, every bit of lactose pretty much, and you'll get slightly more protein. When you're buying top quality protein powders, the need to buy an isolate is reduced for me personally. With something like MyProtein, right? You buy MyProtein, normal concentrate protein powder, and you're lactose intolerant, you'll get the trots, right? It'll go through you, right? You need to buy an isolate. And you'll be absolutely fine, or you should be absolutely fine. With Perform, I've had a few clients that are lactose intolerant that have just used the standard, advanced way, even though they're lactose intolerant, and it's been absolutely fine. And that's just because it's better quality. But you will pay, you know, the main difference between isolate and is cost. So again, cookie dough, 2 kilos of isolate is £100. Is £100. So 2 kilos of their standard advanced whey, 60. Isolate, 100. Yeah, crazy money. Now, obviously, with my discount code, I think it was 25%. Did that work out as 25%? 16 out of 45? I thought my code was 20%, but it's 25%. Yeah, it's 25%. So 75 quid with my code for isolate. But honestly, if you are lactose intolerant and you want to try Perform protein powder, they do samples. So they do samples. So if you go on, I don't know if they've got it as a separate thing on the website. Maybe not. Let's just click on, can you buy the sample? That's only 450 gram tubs for $24.99, $37.99 for 900. I think they do the samples on, so it might just be worth, they do the samples on the website. I've seen them the other week. So it might be worth buying the samples and just trying them to see how it works with you. Yeah. But yeah, with isolate, flipping expensive, really expensive. Just come out from Aldi. They have protein peanut butter, 98 calories, 3.9 grams of protein for £3. I assume that's for 15 grams for a tablespoon. Yeah, I've seen Lidl do a protein peanut butter. I don't get it. There are certain things where it's just like, yeah, you know, I do post protein products because a lot of people struggle to get protein into their diet, and irrelevant of what, you know, people love to judge, don't they? And they're all like, protein, it's just a marketing ploy. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Isn't everything just a marketing ploy in a way? I mean that sincerely. Do you know what I mean? It really, really is. But, you know, where a lot of people go wrong with, people go like, well, it's 200 calories, it's only got 12 grams of protein in here. And I'm like, yeah, but let's use a bit of context behind this. It's not trying to replicate a chicken breast here. It's trying to replicate another cereal, or it's trying to replicate a chocolate bar. So, you know, it's trying to replicate, hang on, I'm trying to sign into NutriCheck to see. You know, it might be trying to replicate a flatbread, Well, let's compare it to another flatbread. Let's never compare a protein bar or a protein flatbread to a piece of chicken, right? It's just absolutely pointless. I'll have a look. I'm in Aldi shortly. Yeah, Tablespoon, their own brand has 0.1 more protein and cheaper. Yeah, so it is. It's just, it is certain things. And that's why I always say judge things on individual merit. Don't judge things on, oh, it's got protein on it, I'll just dismiss it, But really, if you want a higher protein peanut, just buy powdered. You've got to go powdered. I've not said hello to YouTube and Facebook people. Good morning. Nelly New, good morning. Looking forward to that. I assume that's the pineapple McSpicy dupe. Yes. Charlotte, good morning to you too. And Lee's in. As much as I try to understand it, I'm struggling with weight fluctuations. Nothing worse than having a mega successful week in every way, but not seeing a loss, sometimes even a small gain. Yeah, it is tough creating, and this is why it's worth stepping away from the scales. The further away you weigh, the less fluctuations become a part of your weighing routine. Why? Because really, daily or weekly fluctuations, there should only be, if they happen in the body, there should only be a pound or so here or there, right? There shouldn't be anything, as long as you're weighing on an accurate day, right? Weigh Monday morning if you've had a bit of a, eating a bit more food over the weekend than you would do normally. Pathetic. Don't weigh Monday morning. It's just pointless. Friday morning's your day to weigh. If your Friday morning's if your Friday night's the same as Wednesday night, Thursday night, maybe a Saturday morning. I've always weighed Friday, Saturday mornings. It's the most accurate result on the scale. And if you're not doing that, change to that, right? And, fat loss is what's your deficit? Even if you're trying to stick to a really restrictive deficit, right? You're going to struggle to lose 2 pounds of body fat in a week. Whereas I've got 5 litres of water. I've got 2 and a bit litres of water here. It weighs 5 pounds. Yeah. Right. So it's just, it can quite easily, 3,500 calorie deficit in a week. Lose one of them. Down some of this. Right. I've just drunk a quarter of that. I have just counterbalanced that in 10 seconds. Right. A quarter of that is 1.25 pounds of water. I've just drunk it. That's now in my body. That has increased my weight because that is now in here by 1.25 pounds. So I've literally, if I've lost a pound this week and I weigh myself now, that's just counterbalanced it, right? Because I've took on some water. It doesn't mean I'm not going to, right, well, I'll stop drinking water then to see a result on the scales. No, we have to accept them. The body isn't solid. What we have to understand is the scales weigh your weight. They do not weigh your fat. They weigh your skin, your bones, your muscles. They weigh anything that's in your stomach, your intestine, your small intestine, your bowel. They weigh anything that's in your bladder. They weigh any water that's stored in muscles, in smooth muscle, skeletal muscle, right? They weigh, you bang your knee and your knee swells up. They weigh that as well, right? If you're wearing boxers, they weigh your boxers. If you've got your Apple Watch on, they weigh your Apple Watch, right? Your scales weigh everything internally and externally on your body, right? Being in a calorie deficit affects body fat. That is it. And all these different fluctuations, all these things that are going on will counterbalance fat loss, right? And like I say, I've just done it there. I've just gained 1.25 pounds. I'll gain another pound. I'm now 2 pounds heavier than I was 2 minutes ago because I've just downed 2 pounds worth of water. That will show on the scales, right? So that's how your fluctuations work. Now, the further away you go from weighing, right, the less these fluctuations take hold, because really on a weekly, the fluctuations are a pound or two here or there. if you weighed once a month and you're in a 3,500 calorie deficit and you're on it, you'll have lost around £5. So if the fluctuations happen in the week that I weigh of 1 to 2, I'm still going to see a £3 loss, right? If there are no, if I catch the scales at a time where my water retention, food weight is a little bit lower, I might see a £6 loss, right? If you're going to weigh yourself daily, you're going to see fluctuations all the time. You're going to go up and down all the time. If you're going to weigh yourself weekly, you're going to be subjected to them a lot of the time. And if it's doing your head in, stop weighing weekly, stop weighing daily. It really is that simple. Once you've then created a healthy relationship with the scales, and like Lee's put there, I try to understand it, but I'm struggling to justify it. Right. And this is where working with me as a coach comes in, because I get my clients that come to me and they're like, I've done everything right this week, but I've gained £0.5 pound. And I'm literally like, we've had 5-6 losses in a row. So I've got no reason to question my client, to doubt that they've not done everything right that week. So then we need to work. And that's what I'll do as a coach. I'll work it out for you and I'll spell it out. And I think when my clients hear me say it, sometimes they struggle to believe it themselves. But I'm like, and they might come back and, and I might go, look, it's obviously, a little bit of excess food weight, water weight. Might ask them a question. Have you had, what did you have for your tea in the yesterday or day before? Have you had any meals that might have a bit more salt in them? Has your water intake been good? And then they might come back and go, nah, my water intake's not been actually as good this week. I've stuck to my calories. Right, so you might be a little bit dehydrated. When we get a little bit dehydrated, the body absorbs, it retains a little bit of what we drink. It's like a fail-safe mode, right? And that's shown on the scales. So I'll say to that client, right, well, let's work on that hydration. It doesn't cause fat loss, but it will, it will remove any little bit of excess water retention you have. And we never question the scales when we get a bigger result than we should. Does anyone do that? So if you're in a 3,500 calorie deficit, right, a week, right, that's £1 fat loss. And fat loss is linear. So you'll always, if you spend 52 weeks of the year in a 3,500 calorie deficit each week, you'll lose £52, right? What isn't linear is weight loss, because the fluctuations can counterbalance the fat loss on the scales, because scales weigh your weight, they don't weigh your fat, right? So, where was I going with this? I've lost train of thought. Where I was going with this, remind me. I can't remember myself. It's not like me to just lose my train of thought. Yeah, it is, Neil. It is. That was it. Yeah. You never question this. So how many of you? So you're in a 3,500 calorie deficit each week, right? You're in a 3,500 calorie deficit each week, which should be £1 of fat loss. If you get on the scales and you've lost £2, do you question it? Do you question it the same way as if you've maintained? No, I've lost £2 this week. That's it, and you move on. Why? Why have you lost £2 when you're in a 3,000? You're not lost £2 of body fat. Right? You've lost £2 because you've lost £1 of body fat, your 3,500 calorie deficit, and you've lost £1 of either water weight, food weight, or water retention for whatever reason. You've eaten a little bit less volume of food, you're a little bit more hydrated, whatever. If you lose £2 1 week, right, and you're in a 3,500 calorie deficit the following week, you'll lose another £1 of body fat, but then maybe the body might regulate itself where your water weight, food weight comes up a little bit. So you lose £0.5 pound. Next thing you question everything. Oh, God, I've only lost £0.5 pound this week. I've done everything right. But you lost 2 last week. And that's why we always look at averages. You should always never judge the success of your journey on an individual weigh-in. When you weigh in, it's just a point of time to log some data. Now, don't get me wrong. If you get a loss, you should be chuffed with yourself, because you'll very rarely get a loss or a maintain if you've been doing rubbish, right? That is, doesn't really work like that. But how we should judge the success of our journey is, what deficit are you in? 3,500 calories a week, Neil. Right. So we're trying to lose £1 a week on average. Look at 12 weeks, 3 months, 13 weeks is 3 months. So look at the last 12, 13 weeks, whatever. What did you weigh 13 weeks ago? I weighed 200 pounds. What do you weigh now? I weigh 187 pounds. Irrelevant that the scales have done this. And then, so you've lost 13 pounds. Divide the amount of weight you've lost, right, by the amount of weeks. So I've lost 13 pounds over 13 weeks. 1. You've averaged £1 a week fat loss. That's exactly what you're trying to achieve because that's the deficit you're putting yourself in, right? If after 13 weeks you've lost £6 and you should have lost 13, then that's telling you either your calories are incorrect or you're not being very good, right? You're not being consistent enough, right? If you've lost 20 pounds in 13 weeks, you're in a bigger deficit than you think, and maybe you've got a little bit of freedom to eat a bit more. Yeah. If you want all that justifying and sorting out, come on, plan with me. It's what I do tomorrow. It's Manic Checking Day tomorrow. I'll have 60 people check in, and I will sort the heads out of 60 people if needed. Right? You could be 61. We won't be checking in tomorrow, but if you sign up today and get your consultation form over to me, you will check in on this check-in cycle. So your first check-in will be, I think, the 7th of November, which is 2 weeks tomorrow. So if you want to come on plan with me, if you're struggling for whatever reason, we'll sort it out. That's what I do. I'm a weight loss coach. It's how I pay my bills. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram. Just click on my link tree, monthly one-to-one plan. Click on it. It's $29.99 sign up, right? And as long as you get your consultation form back to me by tea time tonight, even tomorrow, I'll get you started Monday, right? I'll get you started Monday. We'll get you going Monday. You'll get 3. If you start Monday, you'll get 3 check-ins with me before Christmas, and we can start putting my philosophies into place, start working on this, make sure you have a guilt-free Christmas, and then you'll have another 3 check-ins in January, and we'll hit the ground running. And by the way, you don't have to have another 3. You can work with me for as long as you want to. It's not a limited thing, but it's a minimum 3-month commitment to come on plan. Yeah. Looking forward to officially starting Monday. Liz, yes, I will get your plan. I've pretty much written your plan, Liz. I just want to go through it, and there's a couple of little tweaks and bits and pieces, but you will have your plan. Liz is coming on plan on Monday, and you will have it this afternoon. All right. Had my lowest low this week, over 1 kilogram on this morning. I used to get annoyed, but I've learned not to be now. Brilliant, Nat. And that's what we've got to work on. Why do we self-sabotage on a weight loss journey? I always start well, then it goes downhill. 2 main reasons. Number 1, approach, right? Your approach is unsustainable, right? And it's just, whether we class it as self-sabotage or not, but an unsustainable approach will only stay in your lifestyle for a certain amount of time. Could be a month, could be 2 weeks, could be a month, could be 6 months, But eventually it will cut off before you get to your goal for most people. Slimming World, Weight Watchers, ketogenic diets, fasting diets, shake diets, all this and that. It's not a long-term plan. Long-term problem requires a long-term solution. So you need to use a healthy, sustainable approach to weight loss. So that's first thing to look at. Are you using user 830276 a fad diet? First thing to look at. Second thing, mental health. Mental health causes us to self-sabotage. A few different reasons for it, but generally it's down to self-worth and self-esteem and a few other confidence and a few other bits and pieces. Because heartbreaking as it is, a lot of us don't feel we deserve to feel better, look better, be healthier, get compliments, right? Because for whatever reason, we've been subjected over the years to not getting compliments, to being put down all the time, to having people stare at us, to having people judge us, right? Or that's how we felt. Yeah. So how do you know it's self-sabotage through mental health? Generally, normally is there a point in time where you've ever been losing weight, irrelevant of whether it's a fad diet or not, and you've got to a point in time where you're starting to feel good about yourself, right? You're looking in the mirror and you're more confident, right? You might have got your compliment at work, Sandra the cleaner says you're looking a bit fit at the moment, or Dave, the accountant, gives you a little wolf whistle. Don't do that, Dave, if you're an accountant, because nowadays you'll end up with a sexual harassment lawsuit and you'll be kicked out of the company. But that's the world we're living in nowadays. But do you know what I mean? Someone's saying, oh, you look nice, you've lost weight or something like that. We're not used to it. And it kind of puts us into this, like, it takes us out of our comfort zone. My comfort zone is feeling fat and unattractive and judged by people, right? And again, it's a bit heartbreaking. Now I'm not feeling so fat. I'm not feeling as judged. I'm getting compliments, which I've never had. And suddenly you go like, no, I don't deserve this. And then you self-sabotage and go back to the way you were. Right? There's a lot, it's way more complicated than that, but that is a big factor, you know? That is a big, big factor. Yeah. Right. What's in the plan? You get a tailored plan. So very, very simple and straightforward to follow. It doesn't need to be complicated. It's based around calories, a calorie structure, improving your overall diet, and making sure your daily movement, not including exercise, is optimal to get the results that you want. It's really simple, straightforward. You get check-ins with me every couple of weeks. So I'll keep an eye on you, a little BDI, making sure you're doing what you should be doing or just helping you out. And if you're struggling, I'm there for you. You get access to me 24/7 through WhatsApp. So you can message me whenever you want. It could be, I've gone out for a meal tonight and I don't know how to track the calories. Send me a picture of your tea and I'll do it for you. Or it could be just you've had a bit of a meltdown and you need a rant and you can just message me and I'll pick you back up. Whatever, right? I'm there for you 24/7 through WhatsApp. And then you also get access to the community, which is about 400 people all on the same journey as you. We've got WhatsApp chat groups. We've got WhatsApp recipe groups. We've got Facebook private groups. I do Zoom sessions just to the community, weight loss coaching lives. You get access to all the past coaching lives, like a Netflix of weight loss on YouTube. All sorts. You get all that. It's $29.99 to sign up. That's it. And then $29.99 a month for a minimum 3 months. So that's a 3 months commitment. So 30 quid today. And then you'll pay $29.99. I'll get you started a week on Monday, which is the 27th of October. And then it's $29.99, 1st of November, 1st of December, 1st of January. That covers your minimum term on plan. Right. And then if you want to continue after 3 months, it just becomes a rolling contract at $29.99 a month, and you can cancel whenever you want. Whatever you pay monthly on a direct debit, it will never change. You will never pay any more as long as you keep your subscription active. So when I first started coaching in 2021, the subscription was $19.99 a month. And I still have clients now that pay just 20 quid a month for one-to-one coaching because they've stayed with me. They've, and I've got clients now that are on maintenance and they're just like, for the sake of 20 quid a month to have you there 24/7 whenever I need you, it's just a no-brainer to pay 20 quid a month. So, you might have a weight issue that's going to take 3 years to sort out. You'll never pay more than $29.99 a month for the next for as long as you're on plan with me. If you cancel and then come back in 6 months and the price is increased when you come back, you will pay the new rates. But I've not increased my prices for 2 years and I'm not going to increase them in January either. All right. So it's $29.99 sign up, $29.99 a month. And if you stick to my plan, you will get the results. Right? It really is that simple. I'm not offering a miracle cure. I'm not doing the work for you. You've got to do the work. I will just show you the most healthy and sustainable way that is to lose weight. Alongside that, we'll also work massively on this. Yeah? Get involved. Chuck 30 quid in, 30 quid a month. What have you got to lose? TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube. You just need to go to my link tree. You can go to my website, thereallossboss.net. Click on the monthly one-to-one plan, get signed up, and we'll get you going. Right, that's it, guys. I'm out of here. I've got to go. I've literally got a 2-hour window. Gym, shopping, find a new calculator. So I'm going to try and be back. I'll just be on TikTok probably about 4:45, 5 o'clock, something like that. I'm going for a physio appointment at 4:45. So I'm going to try and get to my physio appointment 45 minutes early and just do a quick TikTok live later on. If I don't see you, though, I'll be back tomorrow morning 9:30, I think, tomorrow. I'm going to go to the gym early in the morning and I'm going to jump on about 9:30. I think. Might be 9:30, it might be 11. If you're on Planner in the community, I'll broadcast when I'm going out there, but probably going to be 9:30, and then I'll just get my head stuck into check-ins for the day because it's manic check-in day. Guys, have a wonderful Thursday, whatever you're doing. TikTok, I'll see you later. Facebook, YouTube, I won't see you later because it will only be on TikTok, but I'll see you tomorrow, probably more than likely 9:30 a.m. Have a great Thursday.